I am flat wore out. Just like physically exhausted. Uh, it is the end of night four, Saturday night in New York. We did. What didn't I do? Uh, let's see. I started off the morning right after breakfast. Went to um, Central Park and got bikes. Rode through Central Park. Let me tell you this: the movies and the maps that I have seen don't do Central Park justice because, well, I mean, first off, and just how little of it they show. Second off, I mean, it's gorgeous out there, um, especially right now. Everything is in bloom and very green, and of course, a gentleman explained to us today. Just it's constant upkeep. 85% private funds. Many things people have donated, whether it's an organization or an individual, and then 15% on behalf of the city. Uh, but when you're doing the bike tour, oh my God, be prepared to go uphill for long stretches and very often. Um, but I mean, of course, as long as it's been since I actually personally biked, that had a lot to do with it, and not to mention as out of shape as I am. But um, it, it was still beautiful, and uh, it's certainly an experience I do not regret doing. Biking through Central Park, I just, if I ever do it again, I definitely want to be in a lot better shape. Now, while we were in Central Park, uh, we got a chance to stop at the Guggenheim Museum. Unfortunately, they're between exhibits right now, so they only had 3 floors open, and only the small galleries on each of the floors, on each of those floors. So, I mean, it was still neat to see uh, Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture, and the spiral and everything. Even though we didn't get to get close to it, we didn't get to walk over to it. Um, and while certain exhibits they will let you take pictures of, when they're between exhibits, there is no photography, except on what they call their children's floor, and then on one uh, on actually inside, I believe it was the smallest gallery in the building, uh, where there was an award piece, which I thought was interesting in the fact that it kind of looks like my grandmother's house, my dad's mother. to be precise. Just all of the similar knickknacks and trinkets and stuff in it, and um, but um, uh, so Guggenheim was during Central Park. After Central Park, uh, that's when I broke off from the group for the day. Um, Went to the Museum of Modern Art, uh, except for the fact that I was already worn out. That that was that was definitely uh, one of the top contending experiences um, of the trip. Uh, it I don't know. I and there except for two of the exhibits, they let you take pictures of everything. Um, Now, one of the exhibits they didn't let you take pictures of. Well, and I say that I just physically got to the point where I couldn't go to all of them, but um, I did hit the first three floors, and then actually opted to skip the fourth and fifth floor, um, because that was the Van Gogh and Picasso and all of that. Uh, and while that something that needs to be experienced, being able because those are permanent exhibits, being able to see the ones that were changing, uh, or the ones that change frequently was I think the better way to spend my time. Um, uh, but so of really it was about a dozen or more exhibits that I saw, just in the four floors that I went to. Um, there was only two that you couldn't take pictures in. One was inside a box essentially, and the other one was a small gallery of local art. Uh, from there, walked over to the Peely Pelly um, Museum of Radio and Television. That one is one that I wouldn't necessarily recommend at the moment because I asked the guy in the museum about it, but they have undergone a lot of budget cuts, so most of their exhibits are closed. The only thing that is open, and I say most of their exhibits, really all of their exhibits are closed. The only thing that is open is their library, which is on the computer, and they have hundreds of thousands of you know TV episodes and movies and special events and news coverage and that kind of stuff. Uh, but uh, that just wasn't wasn't what I was hoping it would be. But from there, uh, went ahead and took the subway downtown to Battery Park, and then walked up to Bowling Green because they're right there next to each other essentially. Um, which apparently a lot of New York right now is undergoing a major renovation uh, because I mean everything from Grand Central and of course the Guggenheim to the UN building and uh, Battery Park was all dug up and um, Tavern on the Green and even Times Square, which I finished out the night at. They all have construction going on around them, or inside them. Uh, but that being said, I did get to see the Charging Bull on Wall Street. So since we didn't get to see it the other day, I went down and made a point to catch that. Ate a couple of New York hot dogs along the way, and then headed back up to Times Square and of course took pictures of all the lights and went in a few of the stores, got some pictures there, um, and yeah, that's I think everything I did. uh, Park, three museums, uh, Bowling Green, Nathan's hot dogs, and then oh, Nintendo World, which made my son jealous, uh, and then Times Square. Um, so another busy day, another day with many steps. So far this week, I'm averaging about 20,000 steps a day. So it's quite crazy. Um, anyway, tomorrow we've got uh, NBC Studios, Top of the Rock, um, and a few other things right there in Midtown. So I'm gonna get some sleep so that hopefully I can be rested to do all of that tomorrow. So long for now.